Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update on Litecoin. Right now we're at $51.30. We're down over 10% right now, guys. So basically the whole market's just getting crushed right now. And as we've talked about before, and I've done a lot of reading into, guys, obviously many markets are manipulated, but this one, since there's not so many regulations on it, anything can happen, and that's why we try to protect ourselves by trading this market. Guys, when I first got into this market, I was a hodler. I want you to understand that. That was the whole purpose of me getting in this market. It was the first market I've ever been in. I got in over 2 years ago, and it was just, in my opinion, about hodling. But as I continued to see these massive swings play out to the upside and to the downside, I said I can no longer just watch when I can see telltale signs that we may be losing over 50% of the value in coins like Litecoin. I mean, really think about it, guys. When we were looking at this trend line break, for all you who've been here, we were really paying attention to when Litecoin ended up breaking here. It was about the time when I was on vacation. It was in July, I think June, July, right in that area. And I remember doing a video from when I was on vacation. We were talking about that trend line so much, guys, and really paying attention to it. And it broke, and it broke on heavy volume. And ever since then, I mean, guys, since June 23rd now, we have been in a nasty downtrend for Litecoin and Bitcoin and many other coins. You know, we've been in this downtrend. Well, I guess Bitcoin was in the descending triangle for a while. It finally broke down. But Ethereum and Litecoin and all these other ones, they've just been in this gnarly downtrend, guys. And that's where you have to protect yourself. That's why I'm here, is to try to help teach people how to trade and things that I'm looking for. Just like the other day when we were looking at this purple trend line, guys, and we were looking to see if this was going to be the start of a short-term uptrend. We got up above our 50-day moving average there for a day. We closed up above it, and I was talking to y'all and saying basically just watch this purple trend line. If we break down below it, then we can start going to some lower levels, and that's what ended up happening, guys. And what I wanted to point out is trendline breaks are extremely important, but just like this green trend line here, when we broke out of it, we didn't break out of it on heavy volume. So that was a telltale sign that this may not be the strongest move, and that's why we started with this trend line. And then we broke down through this trend line on heavier volume than what we even had out of a long breakout of this green trend line here. So that was also a telltale sign that this could potentially just be a false breakout, is what we were dealing with. And now we're getting pushed down to key levels here, guys. We're sitting directly at this red support line that I've had drawn for quite a while now, and that's at $50.72. So we're going to see if we find support off that. And also I wanted to show you it's correlating with our 0.786 Fibonacci right here. If you can see this. So guys, that's sitting right there. So this is another key area of support. We really don't want to lose this 0.786, guys. I mean, if we just continue in this downtrend, we could be looking at, you know, $36 at the 0.886. We could even look down to, you know, test this this bottom here at $23. Anything's possible in this space. But I did want to point out right now, we're in oversold territory. Right now we're at 26.49 on the RSI. But what I wanted to point out with that, we have been as low before, guys, as about 16 or so on the RSI. So there is still potentially more room to the downside. Anything can happen in this space, and you have to plan for that, guys. In my opinion, I would not be going long or looking for a long position until I start to see some type of bullish candlestick reversal pattern out of here. And I'm also paying close attention to Bitcoin. I want to see if what Bitcoin's doing here is if we're going to find a bounce off the 0.618 and we're going to start reversing off that, or if we're just going to continue to drop to the downside. That's going to be the key for Litecoin as well. These markets are still very correlated. Litecoin with Bitcoin and Bitcoin with Ethereum, all of them. When Bitcoin pumps, a lot of times the alts will pump. When they dump, guys. And that just is the name of the game right now. So I want to point that out, that we are in oversold territory, but we can get even lower, guys. We've been to that 16 before, and that 16 would take us pretty low, maybe even down to that $35. And guys, if you like these videos, you like me coming out here being real with you, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate y'all being here with me. And you know, guys, you can go out and you can look at all the videos of Litecoin going to $200 next week, or Litecoin going to $1,000, or Bitcoin going to $1 million. Guys, it's all about the price action. We have to watch the price action. There is no point in speculating in this market. I'm just telling you that because of how manipulated it is, it can get pumped and it can get dumped so hard. What we need to do is look at the technicals and have a plan for that upside, the downside, and the sideways. And my plan played out well here. When I saw this trend line break, guys, that's another opportunity. Now I'm looking to see here where we're going to get some type of bullish reversal. And then maybe that's the time to start jumping in once we can get back up above some of these moving averages. And just to show you what was pretty cool is we got up above the 12 EMA, we closed there, we got up above the 26, we got up above the 50, but what we needed to remember was the 200 was still up overhead. We didn't have that as support like we did in an uptrend, like we did over here where we were up above in white here, guys, this 200 EMA, basically this entire move up. Ever since we were up above it, February 23rd, 2019 is when we got up above that. And if you guys remember, I put out a video warning as soon as we broke through that 200-day moving average. I said, guys, just be careful, watch out. That's the long-term investors moving average. And since then, guys, we broke down. It was around $86, and now look where we're at now. And that's the significance of these things, guys. If we got a nice bounce off that, that maybe would have been an area where we reversed and started heading back up. But right now, we are in an intermediate term downtrend. And it's just not looking good right now. So we're going to have to see what happens in the coming days with Bitcoin. If it's going to be some type of, busted pattern like I did a video on the other day, maybe that's something that can come into play, or we'll back test that triangle. But right now, guys, we're below the 12 EMA, we're below the 26 EMA, we're below the 50 moving average, we're below the 200 moving average. And this is where we don't want to get pushed back into a basically bear market, a full-blown bear market. Because, guys, as you see over here, once we lost this 200-day EMA, we were trapped underneath that from May 18th, 2018 until we got back up above it around that March 2019, March, February, right in that range there. So that's how powerful these moving averages can act as overhead resistance. You see how the 50 during this entire bear market here in pink basically rode us down. There's a few times we popped out of it, but for the most part, it was very strong overhead resistance. And each time we got up to it, guys would just short off that basically as the ceiling, and then they'd ride the price down. Just how in this bull market cycle we were up above this 50 the entire time. So that's what I'm saying. When we lose these things, guys, yeah, we may get some type of reaction out of here. Just like I said, maybe we get a bounce up here and come back and back test this trend line here. That's always a possibility. But you want to learn how to trade. You want to learn how to identify these trends, guys. And if your game's hodling or whatever, you really just want to accumulate and dollar cost average, then go for it. But I'm talking to the people who want to protect themselves. And when you see these type of things take place and you see massive trend line breaks to the upside, when we've had this trend line intact for 4 or 5 months and you see it break on heavy volume, guys, most likely that's the time to get the heck out of your position. And if we would have broken out of this green one here on heavy volume, then maybe that's where the trend would have changed and would have turned and started moving to the upside. But the negative factor is we had that 200-day moving average acting as overhead resistance. So now what I want to do with y'all, I'm going to clear off the moving average, going to get rid of everything. We're just going to look at a few indicators quick. Okay, and if you've never done this before, guys, this is how you turn. Basically, you just hide your moving averages just so we're not so cluttered there. Obviously, we can see we're below all of them right now. So we're just going to look at price action. I'm going to get rid of these as well. Okay, guys, so this is the support area I'm looking at, is that 51.69. I want to see if we can get a bounce off that, even some type of little reaction. Just like this, guys. You see whenever you have those real big falls, then you can have that reaction back up. That's what I'm talking about. Real big fall here, reaction back up. Big fall, we'll see if we have a reaction back up maybe to $62 somewhere, right in that range. Because in an uptrend, whenever you break out of old resistance, you want it to become new support. And then in this downtrend, guys, like we're dealing with here, these supports are going to act as overhead resistance for us, and that's what I'm paying attention to. So in terms of indicators now, let's get into a few different indicators. We'll go into my favorite here. We'll look at the stock. Excuse me, stock RSI is at 3.93 and 5, so we are greatly oversold on the stock. And what you'd most likely want to wait for, guys, is some type of stochastic cross on big volume, okay, to start maybe moving back up to the upside. But I want you to know you can spend some time down here in this oversold territory, just like you see down in here. We were in oversold territory from April 13th all the way till about April 30th, April 29th. So you can spend a couple weeks down in these areas, just like you can spend some time in overbought territory. And when I first started trading, that's something I really didn't understand. I'd see something like this and go, oh my goodness, we're at 3.39. I better hurry up and jump in. And that's not necessarily what you want to do, guys. It's better to wait for confirmation and be a little bit later on the move trying to catch that bottom and have that confirmation than to jump in and then get your pants pulled down on something like this. You know, that's the thing. I hate seeing people get wrecked. I know some people enjoy and go, oh, they find it funny. I don't, because I've been there before when I first started, you know, into all this stuff, guys. We've all been there before where maybe we've taken a trade or whatever. We didn't put in a stop loss, and before we know it, we're down 40%. And we go, oh, my goodness, what the heck happened? That's why I'm here. I want to try to educate as many people as I can. Next one we're going to look at, our MACD. And with our MACD, guys, we have just completely opened up to the downside. We had that bearish cross, histograms ticking to the negative. That's looking very ugly there on the MACD. Next one, let's look at our Bollinger Bands. And with our Bollinger Bands now, guys, we have dropped down out of the band. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe we'll get some type of reaction off this $50.72. Maybe that is a key area, and we can bounce back up and test this middle band around, you know, even $70. I believe the middle band is about $69, $70 there, 69 bucks. You know, that's always a possibility. But guys, main thing, you got to protect your capital so you can stay in the game. I mean, think about this. Look at this beautiful uptrend we had. And now, I mean, the same exact thing's happening to the downside. You're looking at lower highs. You're looking at lower lows coming in. And right now, we're just in a pure downtrend. So we're going to have to really watch price action, guys, see if we can get some type of reaction. Remember, these things, this is how they change, though, guys. There's going to be some area just like this where this could have been our little short-term bullish uptrend that started. And then if Bitcoin broke up, we could have, you know, set higher highs and higher lows and got it moving. But the fact that Bitcoin broke down, that's why you're seeing this break, in my opinion, at least. I feel like this here, we started to get those higher highs and higher lows, and we were making a little move out of there. But with Bitcoin doing what it's doing, it is what it is, guys. And, you know, with Backed and all the other stuff that's come in, a lot of the times that's what happens. These big whales will jump in there, and they saw us in a descending triangle for Bitcoin. They said, all right, let's ride this thing down. And that's exactly what they did. So we're just going to have to see where we find support, guys. Right now, we're getting a slight little bounce here. We're at $52.27. But, you know, in the long term, guys, and I'll just be honest with you, in the long term, with Litecoin, I do believe, you know, and this is just my opinion, I believe Litecoin's going to be much more valuable than $52. But I don't want to jump in when we potentially could be going even lower than there. You can see if we zoom out like this, guys, we're kind of running out of, you know, support. We're going to have support here. Obviously, the Fibonacci, like I was looking at, but for the most part, guys, it's tough. I mean, we start breaking down through $50, all hell could break loose. We could be down in the 30s. And I had people before when we were up around $70 when I was saying, hey, we may have a breakdown to $50. They were laughing at me and everything, guys, and here it is. I mean, that's the name of the game. We can drop just like this, guys, or we can pump up just like this. So we always have to have a plan for the upside and the downside, and that's what I'm trying to bring to you. So just be vigilant, guys. You know, don't let this stuff ruin your day. Never invest more than you're able to afford to lose. That's one of the main things I can tell you, and try to protect your capital the best that you can. But you know, it's grizzly again today, guys. This is the crypto market right now. But like I said, I'll always be here for you. Even if Litecoin went to $4 or $5, whatever, I'm going to be here. I'm going to do the best that I can for you. I'm not a professional. I'm not a wizard. I don't have a wizard's hat. But we try to predict the upside. We try to predict downside. Downside targets playing out to a T right now. So that's what I want to bring you guys. Let me know down low. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Tell me how you feel truly about cryptocurrency right now. Are you just completely sick of it? Are you at that stage where you just have that complete depression? Are you looking at it as, wow, this is a great buying opportunity for if I'm a long-term holder? I want to know how you guys are feeling down low. So please let me know, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being here with me. God bless.